So I'll start with a show of hands. How many people do logging from their apps? Okay, almost everyone. Well, that's a good start because really you have to do logging to do effective logging. And kind of the key thing that I realized is that there are only two reasons that you would ever want to do logging. The first is you're in a regulated environment. In that case, you're told what to log, where to log it, and there's nothing about effectiveness there. You just have to do it. The other case is for yourself, where you're coming back minutes, hours, months later to find a problem. And the only thing you have are the log messages. Okay, so trick number one is use the right log level. And I kind of never really thought too much about this until I was working with some people transitioning from JavaScript to back-end development who said, oh yeah, we just use console.log. Now we've got all these choices. I've also run into cases where people do form field validation writing error logs, which completely loses real errors. I've been in places where production turns off debug logs to save disk space, which is great until your customer says, hey, why didn't my transaction go through? And you go, I don't know. So again, picking the right log level increases signal to noise ratio, helps you debug your problems. Okay, this was kind of a new slide for this, based on what happened to Facebook recently. Be really, really careful. I have logged a credit card number. Thankfully, it didn't go to production. Passwords. You may think, I'm just logging the username for my login form. You'd be amazed at how many people type their passwords into username fields. So whenever you write a log message, think about it. And if you're using Scala case classes, you probably want to take a lot of care. All right, number three, and this is a big revelation for me, is use JSON. All right, I showed you some basic text logging in the first slide. And text logging is great if you're running a single application on a single node. Here's where we get into the distributed world. You need additional information. You need to know your process ID. You need to know what host name you're running on. You may have a dozen things that you want to put into the log. And you can do it in text logs, and you can get really creative with text logs, but JSON is an extensible format that's available everywhere. And the other key thing is that JSON is what Elasticsearch wants, and that takes me to trick number 4 of the 3 tricks, which is use a search engine to do your log aggregation. It's really nice if you're in a system with, say, 3 or 4 microservices, some of which are running asynchronously, that you can go in and, oh, here's an error in my web app. Let's trace this interaction all the way through, from the web app, through all of the back-end services, and see if we can figure out what happened with it. So, highly recommend this. So, to recap, use the right log level, careful what you log, use JSON so that you can use a search engine, and always look out for off by 1 errors.